This video is for you if you're building a movement, if you're wanting to serve, inspire thousands, if not millions of people. If you're an entrepreneur, you've created this mission and maybe you're doing it and it's working and you're going up, but also you're going down back to square one. You're not feeling fulfilled. It's not working the way you want it to work. Maybe thinking about giving up, but deep down you know you're never going to give up. You're just frustrated. I know this feeling because I've been there. And it sucks. Trying and failing over and over again. And I got so sick and tired of not figuring it out that I decided to figure it out. So I figured it out, it's in this video. I'll see you on the other side. You're picking up what I'm putting down. This is resonating with you. You're still here because there is something within that is not fulfilled. I'm going to tell you what it is. Studies have shown that discipline and willpower alone just isn't going to cut it. And look, I'm a really disciplined person. I don't know why, but I just have that knack. I've always been driven. I've always gone big. I've always been bold, and I've always followed through with what I'm doing. I'm not a quitter. And I've failed loads. It's part of the success. It's part of life to fail. We have to fail to succeed. So I'm driven. I'm disciplined. I'm relentless. But still, that's not enough. The new science suggests that it's deeper than that. And without looking at the root cause of this issue, why we're not succeeding, we will constantly, unconsciously sabotage our success. This is kind of like the holy grail of learning to be successful. And so I learned this stuff and applied it, and it worked. And it was quite shocking to me because what happened was when I applied this stuff, my life changed completely in kind of a short space of time. My vocabulary got better. My confidence got better. My marriage got better. I tripled my income. I felt more creative. I blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't that I became all of this stuff. It was there all along. I peeled off the layers of noise, self-doubt, and all of that left me with what I already was. And this is the same for you. We are all of what we want to be. We just have layers and layers and layers of lack of self-worth, lack of self-love, lack of discipline, lack of all of this sort of stuff just piled on top of us, and it's squashing us. And this is what the yo-yoing is all about. We make progress and then we always come back down to where we were before, in love, health, wealth, success, and freedom. So let's sort it out. So the neuroscience, brain science, is suggesting that we have to go way deeper than discipline, way deeper than willpower. And what they're saying is that we have to rewire our subconscious mind below the conscious thinking mind to align for the goals, the visions, the dreams that we want. Love, health, wealth, success, freedom. So first of all, we've got to realize what we no longer want. I'm sick of being here. I don't want this anymore. I don't want this, this, and this, and this. And we need to decide what we do want and then reprogram ourselves for exactly what we want to be, do, have, and experience. And if we don't do that, we're putting ourselves, our life, our legacy just up to chance. I don't know about you, but I don't like those odds. So I lived my life like that, just going with the flow, man, for ages and ages, thinking everything was just going to work out. And it's working out, but it's only because I applied this stuff. And once you know this stuff, you see it in others. Who's going to make breakthroughs? Who's going to actually achieve what they're intending to achieve, and who's not? And I was one of those who's not people. It was so obvious. As soon as I learned these techniques, it was like, oh, let's go. I did a deep dive. I did a major deep dive. I cut off all the distractions in my life, and this is an ongoing process. I did a deep dive into reprogramming, conscious thinking, subconscious mind, all of this stuff that was just kind of jargon. I was like, I don't understand these words. And I pulled out what I did understand, followed and studied the successful people doing it, got in the room with people that were doing way bigger things than I was doing. And I started to look at the patterns. I started to apply what I thought was going to work. And then when I worked with these people, when I worked with my mentors, they confirmed that I was on the right path and gave me the right things to do. So what I realized was my self-beliefs, my subconscious thoughts were the only thing that were getting in the way of me being here and here. Whatever here and here is for you, this is the Holy Grail. This is what you've been looking for. And the good news is, drum roll, is that you can change your subconscious thoughts anytime. You just need to know how. So we start with a vision, we start with a mission, and we start with something that lights us up, that feels like it's coming from a place of purpose. We chop out the distractions. We create a crystal clear vision, plan, direction, GPS. We then dive into our self-talk. We look at what we're saying, what we're thinking, what we're throwing out there into the world. We dive into some deeper methods to allow us to tap out of this reality and come back to the roots of our being. Sounds a bit like, whoa, but it's simple. It's kind of like coming back to a default setting and unsubscribing from everything that is not aligned with you and your mission, your path, your vision. And unless we know what to look out for, we're unconsciously subscribing to all sorts of things. We're helping other people build their dreams, and our time and energy is getting pulled in different directions. We then go into the deeper layers where we realize that life is basically a cycle of memories going round and round from the past, and emotions going constantly round, what we think about everything, how we feel. And it's a lot. Life is all encompassing. And constantly having to work through all of this stuff is exhausting. I know that feeling, and I know you know that feeling too. And then we get to the reprogramming. After we've gone through this process, we reprogram ourselves for what we do want to be, do, and have and experience in this lifetime, and we make it happen. And how do we make it happen? Because we become what we want to be, rather than wishing and hoping it's going to come to us. This is the difference. So I know that might sound a little bit like, but how do I do all that? Well, if you're at that point and all of that resonates and you know your vision, you know your mission, and you are not going to quit and you're going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. If you're at that point where I was, and I just was like, this has to work now, let's go. Then DM me the word freedom, and I will share a link to my online program where I share a 5-step method to help you do everything I just said, so you can quit this yo-yoing and you can feel fulfilled and serve and inspire and be that person you're meant to be in this lifetime. Is this pinging? Are you ready? I look forward to your message. I'll see you on the other side. Let's go.